Let's analyze Chapter 1, 1139 with the original in Japanese, shall we? After the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and before we dive into the content of this video, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Alright, let's get into the video. Starting with this chapter, we will begin to bring an analysis of Chapter 1, 1139, but from the original in Japanese, highlighting everything we miss in the translations to make your experience with the chapter as great as possible. So, shall we? I'm counting on the help of the profile Roberto Rodriguez from X for the Japanese translations. Let's start by talking about the cover, and wow, there's a lot to say about it, beginning, of course, with the chapter title, which in Japanese is called Yamagurai, or Mountain Devourer. And there's another character with a very similar epithet to this title. I'm talking about Bonnie, whose Japanese epithet is Ugurai, or Big Glutton. All One Piece chapter titles are insanely well thought out and correlate many things. The Devouring Mountains part must be a direct reference to the first opening of another anime produced by Toei, whose manga was published in Shonen Jump. By the way, here's a tip. You should read this work. Among fantasy battle shonen, it's considered by the Japanese fandom as having one of the best endings, and we've already had a filler episode featuring One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Toriko. And no, I'm not crazy. Pay attention to the lyrics of the song, Guts Guts, a wordplay with the onomatopoeia, Guts Guts, which means eating too fast. Wow, Yamavo Kue. Think it's a stretch? Alright then. Toriko's first opening, and the second one too, was performed by the unparalleled singer Kshida. And he became famous for performing the openings of many famous tokusatsu series, and one of them was the theme song for Uchu Keiji Gyaban, or Gavan, the space detective. Yes, Jaban, or Gavan, Jaban, or in the official romanization Gavan, has his name in Japanese written exactly the same way as the character introduced in this chapter for the first time. For those unfamiliar, Gavin, along with Shader, Sherivan, and later many others like Jiraiya, Jaspion, etc., are called metal heroes. Did you get the other reference? Gold, Roger, Silvers, Rayleigh, and Scopper, Gaben. They are all named after metals, gold, silver, and bronze. And if you still have any doubts that this reference is 100% intentional, take a look at one of weapons. Want more? Alright, Gavin's final villain was Horror, Don Horror, and he appears as the villain in a crossover movie between Gavin and Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, the 35th season of Super Sentai, which had an obvious reference to One Piece. They are pirates and can transform into all previous Super Sentai or Power Rangers for us, all of them. And obviously, we couldn't wrap this up without Eiichiro Oda's unparalleled genius. Gavin, Super Sentai, Toriko, and One Piece were all produced by Toei, and Gaban, specifically, was portrayed by the also brilliant Kenji Oba, who, by an unbelievable coincidence, had a birthday this week. In summary, in just the chapter title, Oda paid homage to Tokusatsu, where Gaban was inspired by Jaban, with a flood of references. And not only that, but he also honored Kenji, who had a birthday in the same week that Scopper Gaon was introduced. Another thing is, in this chapter, we learned that the mystery man with the hat who appeared on the cover of chapter 631 was Scopper Gaban. But Oda had practically revealed this to us a while ago, specifically in chapter 1, 1034, when the silhouette character said he was waiting for the Straw Hats. And here's why. Look at this foreshadowing. In the panel above the silhouette man on Usopp's and Chopper's shirts, it was written Sukop, which is the Japanese way of saying Scopper. Yes, Oda had already told us who it was, of course, in the genius way he always does. Now let's talk a little more about Yasan, the way Gaban is introduced. His nickname, Imagurai, is a reference to Yakuza. This is evident in the way Gaban speaks, using the pronoun or instead of washi, like Garp, or watashi, like Rayleigh. Yes, Yasan speaks in a youthful manner. Or is usually used by younger men, and this fits Gaban's personality perfectly because he never got tired of Ripley because he because he got older. He's self-conscious about his age, and that's probably why he uses a pronoun for someone much younger. And here's a theory. Yasan, as we've seen, is a reference to the Yakuza. And guess who else has references to the Yakuza? Shanks! Yes, even the way the pirates in his fleet treat him is like a great Yakuza boss. And well, of course, I have a theory about this, but I'll bring it up another time. And now let's talk about the power comparison, when it is said that Gavin, Rayleigh, and Roger are on equal footing. In the original, the best translation would be that they stand shoulder to shoulder with Roger. A clear reference to him being the left arm. Now, just one thing. Roger's dominant arm was his right one, and this may be trivial, but it could also be a hint about which of Roger's two arms was the strongest. Well, that's it, everyone. These were the insights that can only be understood in the original. If you like this kind of content, leave your like so I can keep bringing these videos for you. See you next time, and thanks. Se precisar de ajuda.